All right, I'm gonna recreate the undead look for you today. It's part of the Halloween collections, and let's see how it turns out. Here I'm gonna start by using London. I'm gonna make sure I tap off the excess, and this will go all over my lid. Next, I'm going to go ahead and apply the shade Linen. Now, this is going to go all over my face, and because I wanted to make sure that I had full coverage on this, I am using the 3D brush. The 3D brush is also great because I can use the smaller end to get deeper into my eye creases where I want to make sure that I really have that pop of light color. If you use Linen already as one of your brightening shades, you can also use Moonlit, which would be an even brighter color. And full disclosure, next time I would do this look, I would also prep my eyelids just before adding London so that the shade of my face is all the same before I start applying the shadow. After you use Linen, you're going to want to use a setting powder to set it. Now we're going to go back in with London, which is the same shade we used on our eyes, and we're going to go ahead and make a contour with this. This will give us the dimension that we need to make our skin look shallow and give us those defined lines. Because of the consistency of this eyeshadow, I did find that I had to use a little bit more on my brush than I normally would, and using a brush versus using your fingers was the way to achieve this look. So when you go ahead and blend this out, definitely pressing a little bit harder into your brush and making those full-on swipes is how I got it to actually go where I needed it to be. Now we're gonna go in with Midnight. It's a darker, deeper purple shade, and we're just gonna apply it to the inside corners to give that depth and dimension right in the sides here. Again, we're talking about the fact that it will blend a little bit differently than what you think, and you can see that I had a little bit more uptake in the corner than what I probably was looking for. This is the perfect opportunity to grab your damp perfector sponge and just sponge out those areas of over pigmentation. Around the corner of my nose, I would like to give a shadow here. So I'm just using my smudge brush to add a little bit more dimension just to those curves. Moving on to the eyeliner shade. So this is Black Friday, and this is a little bit different consistency, but it won't matter if you don't make it in a straight line, because at this point you're just going to smudge it all out anyway and really give that dimension to your lid that you're needing for this look. We also apply it just underneath as a low lash eyeliner. The one thing that I will say is that you do want to make sure after you use your brush in this liner that you clean it really well before you put it back into shadows. For those of you that aren't in my beauty group, you'll realize that I also come with bloopers, and this is one. So we're going to go ahead and take Cupcake and bring it up on the high points of my cheeks and on my brows. Now all I'm doing is using this setting powder to set the areas in which I've used and adding a little bit more Linen to my lips to make sure that I can round out this appearance. To add that creepy effect, we're going to go ahead and add Salem, the eyeshadow, into the corners. Maybe I used a little bit too much here, but that's the beauty of Saint. We just get to blend it out. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more Salem on the bottom lip before moving on to brows. So to give a darker brow look, I'm actually using Salem. And from here, I'm gonna line my brows first and then go in and fill it in. I also wanna give a bit of that spiky brow appearance just so that they don't look so uniform. Using the brow gel here would be a fantastic idea. I just didn't have any on hand for this video, but if you have that product, definitely give it a go. The last step is to add the illuminator. I'm using Starlit here. I'm gonna start with topping it on my lips and then down my nose, onto my lids, bringing it all the way up to my brow bone before moving on to my cheeks. Here's today's final zombie look. Thanks for hanging out with Team Beauty Matrix today, and have a fantastic Halloween. Using the Illuminator Starlit, we're going to bring some shimmer and shine down to my lips. That's going to add the dimension and the depth where you need it the most. Now, I chose to also bring it up on my nose, mostly just because I like the shimmery part of it, in the corners of my eyes and a bit on those lids just to give them some more color, and then repeat on the other side.